Well guys, 7 months later, the Maserati Granturismo is sold, and to replace it, we got a Shelby GT350. I feel like there was really no reason given to why I ended up selling the Maserati Granturismo. There are 4 reasons why, and I think you're going to agree with my decision. And if you're looking to buy a Maserati Granturismo, hopefully this will give you some sort of watch outs before you do actually buy it. Mind you, I was extremely dumb with my purchase when I made that, and you're going to understand why. Before we even really get into the 4 reasons, though, can we have a moment of silence and just appreciate how absolutely beautiful that car was? I don't know or think if I will. I don't think I'll ever own a car that was that beautiful. I still, even after selling it, go in my gallery and look at pictures of that car, just reminiscing. Oh my gosh, I was behind the wheel of that absolute masterpiece. By the way, you can get one for $30,000-$40,000. So, you know, it's a sad day. It really is. And it's, that car was really like, it produced a lot of emotion. So it is very sad seeing that thing go. But at the end of the day, they're not like, you know, super rare to find. So if it comes down to it, we could always get another one. But I am currently have my life savings invested into this car, as I did with that car previously. Luckily, I was able to save up some money, and nothing serious went wrong with that car in the time that I owned it. But on that note, let's get into reason number 1. And that was all of the small problems that were adding up on that car. The list is actually so long that I had to write everything down on my phone. So let's quickly run through it. Number 1, a catalytic converter efficiency code. That was $8,000. I was quoted on that. Again, you know, most of these problems, again, let me preface with the end after I read through this list. So, catalytic converter efficiency code, transmission fluid leaks, suspension issues, cabin air filter, engine air filter, both those need to be replaced. A loud whining noise as the RPMs increase. You guys heard me talk about that in almost every single video. The shop that I took it to could not even diagnose that problem, but it was obviously not normal. Like, that should not be making that noise. The glove box handle fell off, the subwoofers were blown out in the speakers, the infotainment screen was staying black and wouldn't work, the odometer was flashing, a huge chip of paint came off the brake caliper after I painted it. The wheels that were on that car were causing 2 of the tires to lose about 5 to 10 PSI every single day. So I was filling up that car literally every day that I drove it. I had to sit there and fill up the car every single time. The air vent handle was broken, the steering wheel buttons were not working, the convertible fabric was starting to get a little worn, and that is a little bit sketchy if you're driving that every day, putting it up and down, and you're using it for daily use, so you're driving it in the rain. You definitely don't want any leaks. And I didn't have any leaks, but, you know, it caused for concern as time went on. The air conditioning and heating would sometimes spaz out. It would turn on and turn off without me even pressing any buttons. There was a weird smell. Whenever somebody drove behind me and I floored it, they told me that there was some really weird smell that was coming out of the exhaust. The shop was not able to diagnose that. The brake fluid needed to be replaced. There was a loose connection with the exhaust system. Windshield wipers needed to be replaced. Every time I started the car up, there was a really loud ticking noise. I've seen that on other Granturismos, and it sounds like oil wasn't getting in the right part of the engine at the start, but as it warmed up, that sound did go away. And then there were 3 episodes of electrical spaz outs. Like the gauge cluster, the RPM gauge and the speedometer just dropped, and it turned off. And then you know, when I did reset the car, it did fix itself. But there were 3 really strange episodes of that, and also it said like ABS failure, suspension failure, all this stuff. The car was okay. Typical Maserati electrical stuff. You're going to experience that in virtually almost any Maserati, at least at one point, if you do own the car for a long period of time. Now, if I didn't fix the valve cover gaskets, which was $1,800, and the belts, which needed to be replaced, that was $800, I would have added that to this list as well. But there were 22 items on this list. Now, again, I really, in all the videos, I said how amazing of a car that was, and it honestly was. Like, I genuinely still miss it, and I almost wonder if I shouldn't have traded that in for this car. But mind you, the car can get from A to B. That's no problem. It's a quirky car, and it requires a special taste. You gotta love that sort of high maintenance, like gorgeous girlfriend type of car, and it provided all of that. The sound, the looks. I mean, that's one of those cars where you just like put a lawn chair out and you just kind of stare at your car on a Sunday if you're just absolutely bored, and it will entertain you simply just looking at the thing. The car is also easy to work on, but I am no experienced mechanic, and a lot of this stuff I would not have been able to do. If you really estimate all these 22 things put together, and mind you, some of them, like, come on. I mean, again, I don't mean to exaggerate this. Like, windshield wipers, come on, that's $30, $40. You can do that yourself very easily. But some of the stuff is pretty major. I think if you were to add all of these things together, for the diagnosis and the parts and labor, it's probably close to what the value of the car actually was, which is, well, given this series we're doing, my bank account, my net worth is literally in the car that we're driving. So I would have to actually go in debt to go ahead and fix everything with that car. Now, again, 5 previous owners, or 6, it was a weird situation with that Carfax report. There's almost no service history records. And I didn't even see the car. No pre-purchase inspection, no test drive, didn't look at it, just had it shipped across the country. This is all entirely my fault. I should have known better than this. If you're wondering, how much I got for the car, well, the trade-in value, I did trade it in. Okay, I tried to sell it on Facebook Marketplace for about 2.5 months. That was the most annoying thing I've ever dealt with in my life. The people that were asking the questions, I went out and showed people the car a few times and then they just ghosted me. It was horrible trying to sell that car privately. And I ended up going from initially starting at $40,000, dropping it to 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32. And I still had people messaging me saying 15 grand, 14 grand, offering me either a 150,000 mile BMW 750 Li valued at KBB for 12 grand for the Maserati Granturismo. It's like, I have never dealt with such a difficult process on a car, and I get it. That's a very niche car, and it's you have to be careful when you buy it. I understand that that's going to be a lot more difficult to sell, and buyers are going to be a lot more picky than any other car that me or you would go to sell. So keep that in mind. But that's why I ended up trading it in, and I got $30,500 for the trade-in. I bought the car for $40,700, not including taxes and shipping and registration. All in on that car, with everything, including shipping and the valve cover gasket and belts replacement, I put in about $46,000 for that car. I lost $16,000 in 7 months of owning the Maserati Granturismo. That hurts. Anyway, that's reason number 1. The car was fine. I could have owned it for a while longer without having to put more money into it, but I was growing a lot. I was worrying a lot with all of the issues that were slowly building up over time. Engine and transmission, by the way, are solid. That's what I mean. It can go from A to B, but if you want to listen to music, if you want to ride without any concerns or worries, and you don't have another vehicle for reliable transportation, if you're going to own a Maserati Granturismo, at least maybe have a plan B, another car, just in case. I didn't, and so, yeah. Now, reason number 2 was kind of goes along with reason number 1, was the future expenses. The parts costs, the labor costs are absurd with that car, and I knew if I kept that for the foreseeable future and repairs were going to, need to happen, yeah, I am not in really a financial situation to get to the point where all that stuff actually needs to be fixed. That would have been not good for me. Then, reason number 3 is honestly this channel and you guys. I know every time I get a car, there's going to be people that hop in that are just die-hard fans for that car, like die-hard Shelby fans, die-hard Maserati fans. But at the end of the day, I want you guys to witness my journey, and I might include more of my actual life, kind of how the journey goes, because I do have a full-time job that is going really well. There's a lot of ups and downs with it, but if you were to kind of do an average of, hey, it's going upwards, and the trajectory for me to make a lot more money is very near, and so the whole plan is to really just upgrade in car. Every single time that I build up an additional savings, I can trade in or sell the car and then put all of my savings into the next upgrade. So Maserati Granturismo was 40 grand. This was 52 grand. Next car could be 70, next one 80, next one 100. That's honestly my vision for this channel. It's probably a really dumb one, and I've already lost so much money on this YouTube channel, but it's fun, and that's just kind of what I see. Plus, it's I don't know, it makes life more interesting. So, by the way, save your money. I probably wouldn't recommend following this journey, or following, my footsteps in terms of putting your entire net worth into a car. It's better than financing it, though. I refuse to finance a car. I did pay cash for this, along with the trade-in of the Maserati Granturismo, but I don't think I will ever finance a car. So my life savings is literally getting put into each upgrade in the car. So that's what I want, go upgrade. So that was part of the reason for trading in the Gran Turismo. I felt like I had enough savings to do an interesting upgrade for you guys, and hopefully this is a good upgrade. It seems like you guys agree with that in the comments. So number 4 was emotions. I'm not gonna lie, I pretty much impulse this pretty hard. I walked into the dealership thinking to myself, just looking. I work in sales. There's no way the salesperson's going to sell me. I kind of sold myself on the dang car, but I really, really wanted to own a manual transmission car, and the Shelby GT350 was in my heart. To be honest with you guys, it was either a Hellcat or a GT350, and this car has been fully converted into a Shelby GT350R. The whole car is PPF'd. It's a one owner, 16 service history records. It was 7,500 miles. It has 8,300 now. I've been driving this thing like crazy. This was way too good of a deal to pass up. I knew if I did not buy that right then and there, I would have came back and this would have been sold. I know it's like typical, like, that's the salesperson just saying their thing. I try to look into the car market before I actually make a decision. And this, I swear to you, unless there's something seriously wrong with the thing, this is an incredible deal for this car. So worst case scenario, I can get my money back, at least 80-90% of it. I said that about the Gran Turismo, but I probably should have known better about that car. But yeah, those are the reasons why the Gran Turismo is no longer, and the Shelby is now the replacement. The Gran Turismo was an incredible car. I mean, if you are thinking about buying one, just don't be stupid like me. Do a pre-purchase inspection. Go see the car in person. The engine and the transmission are reliable. Trust me when I say that. I had no concerns about that. My concerns were everything else, because at the end of the day, it is not the best quality car. There's creaks, there's squeaks, the electrical system is iffy, but the engine is based on Ferrari's platform and the transmission is the ZF German automatic transmission. You should have absolutely no issues with those two things. So if you have any questions about my ownership experience with that car, I kind of documented the whole thing, but feel free to comment below. Let me know what you think about this trade-in, and I just wanted to let you guys know why I made this decision, and I hope you support it. I hope you stick around, because this is going to be a long journey. I don't know what the end goal is. Lamborghini? That seems, maybe I'm aspirational, but I want to go for something a little bit more difficult. So I'm thinking, I don't know, something insane. It's going to be a long journey, but upgrade after upgrade is going to come. And so, yeah, I hope you guys follow this, but I appreciate you all, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.